Hey legends, Warnie here for your bit of a round four update. It is the Easter weekend of footy. It is Good Friday today. It's actually pissing down with rain here and been a bit of thunderstorm action going on. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick look at, the Warne Dawgs heading into this weekend, which obviously started last night. We'll get more on that in a sec. Just quickly back to last week. Moved up inside the top 14k. Not great. My moves last week. McRae out. Yep. To Setterfield. So I'm still okay with it, and I'm not going to try to justify that it's still a great move. It could still be a good move. I just didn't like McRae's role, and I still didn't like it, even though he scored that 111 last week. Setterfield was good. Hopefully he's all sweet to go. I had to move Charlie Constable, and so I went to Stocker. Fingers crossed that's better this week. We've got Webster out, so maybe Stocker can be hopefully a little bit better. It looked a lot nicer when he had 63, but then he had a score adjustment that took him down to the 55, so that one hurt a little bit there. But they're the moves that I did last week. If I had my time again, if I knew more about the Constable thing, I wouldn't have moved McRae and I would have been doing something else with my side. But anyway, that's it for round three. Let's get to round four, which is where we're at. Off the top, though, let's just talk about, God, it sucks not owning Nick Daicos. He's just a machine. Even with a role change or moved forward, he still does it, gets it done. I think he kicked a couple of goals, 126 far out. Devastated by that. Anyway, a clanger from last night was in our busyness that is a Thursday night that we do our live stream from 6:15 on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. We have to get stuff together, especially afterwards, in the lead up to that lockout, while we do have time to get our team sorted in a way. I thought I actually did. So I put Wilmot on the bench, and I forgot to put the E on him. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, that all happened. So yeah, basically now I don't have an emergency because I'll have Cowan. I wasn't going to take the 36 anyway, so that's one okay part of it. But if I've laid out elsewhere, those 36 points could have been handy, especially when you've got a crap team like mine anyway. All right, so my issues this week, I've got Sheed. He's probably the biggest one. But in saying that too, I'm okay with my backline. I wish McGrath was bloody Daicos, and Stocker's not ideal, but okay there for now. In the midfield, I guess the issues are Dom Sheed with that broken throat, poor bloke. Worpel is an issue, and then in my forward line, my issue is Horne-Francis. So I made a mistake, I think, by not playing two rookies in the forward line. So that could have been Chandler and Sheasel there, and my team would have looked so much better if I had have done that. Calvin wanted me to thank him for Horne-Francis in round one. Now he is the bane of my existence. So I'd like to get rid of him, but I don't think I will this week now. My plan is, at the moment, and I don't need to do these moves for a little bit, get rid of Dom Sheed. And now the plan with Dom Sheed, excuse me, Dom Sheed is to go to Kelly. Now, do I have the funds for that? Not quite. I'm 127k short. And so my plan then was to go Worpel, and I will do a DPP switch. Let's put Horne-Francis in the midfield just because you'll feel at home being there. So, and then that can become Van Ruin. And kaboom there. That leaves me 194k. So I can make that trade, confirm that. Go back to my team, and that's where that will sit at the moment. So that's nice. I can put Kelly back into M2 where he was because I initially picked him. Horne-Francis can sit there in that sort of mid-price spot that I had before. I will play Chandler over Van Ruin. Better get those in price order. My OCD needs that. So that's basically where it is. So, yeah, maybe Van Ruin is the emergency. I'll fix that up later anyway. So that's where the Warne Dawgs will be lining up. I've got Doherty as VC for today. I think that's the obvious choice. And we do have some options there for our emergencies, and to do that, like we've got Pedler out. I don't think you should trade him. I know some people have sort of thought about it, and yeah, there's a few dollars on his head, but what is his break even exactly? It's still -2, so he'll be straight back in, and he'll be right after that 1 week suspension. So that's where the Warne Dawgs are situated right now. I probably need to read Calvin's captains properly. You can check that out on our Patreon page for the top 10. And also the top 5 on all of our AFL content and also on DT Talk. Lee's sitting there at the moment. It might be Josh Kelly. I have a feeling he was high up there. It'd be a nice thing to do against the mighty Bombers. We'll see how that goes on Sunday anyway. But I've got plenty of time to think. And hopefully Doherty just gives us something massive this week, because that North Melbourne matchup, everything adds up. Think about what those Hawks defenders did against them. So I will be, I'll take anything over 110 anyway. Probably take anything over 100 the way the Warne Dogs are going. But fingers crossed we get one of those nice big 120 plus scores and we're all laughing. But everyone will be doing it as well. I assume that his ownership or selectorship, whatever you want to call it, how many people are vice captaining him or captaining him will be quite large. So I reckon that'll be the obvious option for a lot of people. All right, well, it's the Warne Dogs. Let's see if we can move up. I bloody hate that 29k ranking there. Honestly, that's just off the back of not having Daicos. What an absolute machine he is. What a prick. And well done to Roy has got him. Roy is getting things together now. I think he's actually going to have a bit of an onslaught with what he does. All right, good luck this week. Keep checking out all of our content on afl.com.au and also at dreamteamtalk.com. The fantasy fill-up is there for you to check out, so go and get into that. Early drop today because of the Good Friday game. It is that 4:20 start. That's something obviously to be aware of, and also not only that is just when teams are dropping. So the Sunday teams or the 22s, they'll be released after this game started, and then that Monday game, so the Cats and the Hawks, those teams won't be, or the 22s won't be finalised until 4:30 on Saturday afternoon. All those details are in the fantasy fill-up, so you can check that out on dreamteamtalk.com. And yeah, big shout out to people that have got on board our Patreon. Very good fun, and it's going really well. I know there's some naysayers and some negative people about it. They are a very small minority, and those people that have signed up and are enjoying it, I hope, and I think you are definitely getting good value for money and enjoying a little bit of an extra thing for your fantasy season, because it's not even just about the advice, it is about the fun and the entertainment. I don't know if I call myself an entertainer much, but it is that extra thing that you do engage in, and it's a good bloody part of the fantasy community that we do. We always find something there, and there's great content providers out there elsewhere where I'm always tuning into their podcasts each week. So big shout outs there to guys like Pod, Hat Chat, their podcasts are definitely well in my rotation. Pete and Jep with the +6 podcast and his offerings there as well. And all the way through, Moreira's Magic, that's fantastic guide. And I'm going to forget people here. Draft Doctors as well, that's a staple of my Monday morning there podcast. And lots of stuff like social media is just bloody brilliant. So I've probably forgotten a heap of people that I do listen to. Break Even Pod, I do enjoy that. And I've Ball Boys as well. They're doing epic stuff everywhere, and I'm still going to be forgetting people because I do consume a little bit, probably not as much as I'd like to, but I do try to keep across a few things on the way. Anyway, here we go. Good luck for the rest of round 4. Don't make your trades until you need to. Don't do what you just play it cool, and don't get sort of stuck into doing things where you can't reverse them and stuff like that, because that can be a bit of an issue. Now, I'm going to go and reverse my trades because I don't need to do anything for a little bit. All right, thanks, legends. Have a great Friday, and we'll chat to you for Patreon on Monday night after the game finishes, and then on Tuesday we'll be back with our regular podcasting stuff. Good thing we're on holidays at the moment, because it means that we can do our Monday stuff on a Tuesday. You don't really need to know my calendar, but it's good to know. All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.